Let's see. The next show we're going to be talking about is Darling in FranXX.
See, this is another one. I think this was yours too, because again, I think I saw the mech on this, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah. This is another series that looked really, really cool. The trailer that I saw for this one was on like Daily Motion or something like that, and the animation was so good. Like,
Well, of course, it's done by A1, so I'd expect nothing less.
yeah, and it's like even though it's done by A1, it's one of the things where it's like they've done it again. Like they've topped their top stuff. So
Well, I mean, this is because they're a big studio, so I mean, they have the budget to be able to do something like that.
yeah. There was another show. It kind of reminded me of Aldnoah Zero, which is
Okay.
another mech anime. Like something about the character designs, how they're not overly detailed, they're kind of washed out. And then it also reminds me of Birdie the Mighty Decode with some of the scenes that happened in the trailer. So it looks like it really, really interests me when I saw it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The story for this one is joint. Actually, it's a joint project between Trigger and A1 Pictures.
Oh yeah.
So that's where I think that's where I get the Birdie thing, because I think Birdie was Gynax, and they Trigger and Gynax have a similar style. So yeah, and it was announced at Anime Expo 2017. The story is set in the distant future. The land is ruined, and humanity establishes the mobile fort city Plantation. Pilots produced inside Plantation live in miscellaneous, known as the birdcage. Children there, knowing nothing of the outside world or freedom of the sky, their lives consist of battling to carry out missions. Their enemies are mysterious giant life forms known as Kyoryu. The children pilot robots called FranXX to face off against them. For the children, writing the FranXX, I guess FranXX proves their existence. A boy named Code 016, a boy named Hero is called Code 16, and he was once known as a prodigy. However, he has fallen behind, and his existence seems unnecessary. Not piloting a FranXX is the same as ceasing to exist. One day, a mysterious girl known as 02 appears before him. Two horns grow out of her head. Yeah, I think I remember seeing her for the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the way it looks, like especially because it's that Trigger style animation, also mixed with A1 pictures. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely hyped for the show.
You know, there's almost like I just kind of watched a little bit of it, and especially the way if what I saw was one of the mechs. By the way, also I love how the fact that at the description they just ended it right there with saying one day a mysterious girl known as 02 appears before him, and two horns grow out of her head, and that's it. It's literally
Yeah.
the end. I'm like, what? Are y'all doing like synopses based upon animes themselves, like actually as animes? Because you end it like right before you're like, oh, by the way, she is, this girl growing two horns growing out of her head, and what? But the way that like one of the mechs looked to me, because I just watched it as you were saying that, it almost seems to me like oh god, the name of it was a mech anime. Came out a while ago, and it had dealt with sound and music. And it was a kid who he was in like the city, but it was like a dome city where like the blue bloods or whatever lived, and he ended up getting broken out. But then they kept trying to come after him. He ended up piloting a mech, but like the mech design that they had reminds me of that. So I can't for the life of me remember the name of that, but I'm sure somebody else out there would probably be able to. Are you cutting out? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what show.
Ooh, just remembered it. Razafon.
Okay.
Razafon. That's what it was. Yep. And that to me, like the way that they do that, kind of reminds me of that. But it's kind of sad that they show you well, they briefly show you what I believe to be one of the mechs, but they don't show you what the enemy looked like.
Yeah.
I'm like,
come on, really? I want to see that. Anyways, it's a little disappointing in the trailer.
Okay. But would this be one of the shows that you add to your list?
I think this is another one. I think when it comes to sports and mechs, I might leave it to you to say whether or not it's actually worth a watch.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's gonna be action. The characters look pretty cool. I'm curious if there's gonna be any comedy at all in it, or is it gonna be kind of a deep?
And it seems like a nice, lighthearted kind of journey. We're not taking things too seriously. We're just going around, and it kind of brings me back to like